Coming up on DITV News, we bring you a local reaction to Korea.
And later we'll have a special report about a former UI student facing sexual misconduct allegations.
We have highlights from Iowa's baseball series win over Michigan.
And we will tell you how the Iowa track team did at the Drake Relays in Des Moines.
All that and more coming up in sports.
This week is just getting warmer and warmer, but thunderstorms may ruin the fun. I'll tell you more in weather.
All that and more coming up on this Monday morning broadcast.
Don't go anywhere. DITV News starts right now. Good morning and thank you for tuning in. I'm Bo Bowman.
And I'm Becca Scadden. Late last week, we at DITV News reported on the peace between the North and South Korea. The reactions here on campus have ranged from cautious to optimistic to hopeful. One Korean international student shared his thoughts on the agreement.
I never thought I would see that when I'm at young age. I thought I would see that when I'm 40 or 50, because even a year ago, intention was pretty much tough, because North Koreans just launched several nuclear missiles, and some of them just flew above Japan, and I thought that was extremely crazy.
North Korea has agreed to shut down its nuclear test site and change its clocks to match the South's time zone.
Just when you thought the weather calmed down, it looks like the Midwest has some trouble coming its way.
We have Junya Kim in the weather studio with a special weather report.
That's right, guys. Midwest of the nation this week is not going to be peaceful as Korea Peninsula. Severe thunderstorms will flare up in the nation's heartland beginning today. This severe threat will exist for multiple days in the plains and Midwest this week. This threat includes the potential for tornadoes. The jet stream has now taken a southward plunge over the west, and this general pattern will hold in place through the middle portion of the week ahead. At least some severe thunderstorms are expected in parts of the plains and Midwest each day through Thursday of the upcoming week. The most volatile mix of ingredients may set up on Wednesday in parts of the central and southern plains. The affected cities are Topeka, Wichita, Dodge City of Kansas, Sioux Falls of South Dakota, Amarillo of Texas, Omaha of Nebraska, and Oklahoma City. Iowa is not included in this list, but we're expecting some thunderstorms this week, but not severe as this one. I will tell you more about that later. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Junyuk.
We'll see you later for the local weather forecast.
The annual Old Capitol Criterium and Road Race returned to Iowa City this weekend. For over 40 years, the Criterium has ran through Iowa City around the Old Capitol area. Volunteers and viewers alike gathered down the streets to watch the competitors put the pedal to the metal. Cash and medal prizes were given out over the course of the 13 races.
That wasn't the only race held this weekend. Sunday marked the first ever Run Krandic, a marathon which started in Cedar Rapids and ended at Kinnick Stadium in Iowa City. Originally, organizers thought they would have a little over 1,000 runners, but more than 3,000 showed up. Next year, the marathon is slated to go from Iowa City to Cedar Rapids.
A famous would-be Iowa alum is in the news, and for all the wrong reasons.
We have DITV News reporter Ethan Gutstein in studio with more.
Longtime TV journalist and former NBC Nightly News anchor Tom Brokaw is facing sexual harassment allegations. Two women, including a former NBC News correspondent, have accused Brokaw of making unwanted advances towards them in the 1990s. In response to the allegations, as many as 65 women, including MSNBC hosts Rachel Maddow and Mika Brzezinski and NBC host Andrea Mitchell, have signed a letter defending Brokaw. The letter states, quote, "Tom has treated each of us with fairness and respect. He has given each of us opportunities for advancement and championed our successes throughout our careers. As we have advanced across industries, news, publishing, law, business, and government, Tom has been a valued source of counsel and support. We know him to be a man of tremendous decency and integrity," end quote. Brokaw has since denied the claims, going so far as to claim in an email to NBC News colleagues the former NBC News correspondent is a character assassin with a grudge against NBC News. This news comes just months after former Today Show host Matt Lauer was fired for, quote, "inappropriate sexual behavior in the workplace," end quote. Stick with DITV News as we'll keep you updated on the story. Guys, back to you at the news desk.
Saturday, Iowa Senator Joni Ernst and Governor Kim Reynolds campaigned together across the state. The two went to 4 cities throughout the day to raise awareness on their upcoming re-elections and talk about the progress they've made during their terms. Both Ernst and Reynolds hold the distinction of being the first women to hold their respective offices.
Well, Becca, the weather this weekend was absolutely beautiful.
That's right, Bo, but I heard we're going to be getting some thunderstorms later this week.
Let's toss it over to Jun Yuk in the weather studio to find out more.
Yes, Iowa City, the weather is getting warmer and warmer, but just a few thunderstorms are coming up this week. Today you will feel low 70s this afternoon with some clouds. This warmness continue until night, slightly dropping down to high 60s. Now let's take a look at our extended forecast. Like I said, warm climate will stay, but with a lot of clouds, wind, and a bit of thunderstorms until Thursday. The temperatures will range from low 60s to high 70s. Wednesday, there will be morning thunderstorms and cloudy skies later. On Thursday, a little bit fallen temps with scattered thunderstorms. Friday, temps will stay around with sunny skies. Similar temperature range will continue on Saturday with partly cloudy skies. The temperatures are getting higher with a little gloomier atmosphere, but cheer up, guys. We have about 2 weeks left for the semester. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Jun-Yuk. This past Saturday, students majoring in event planning created a fundraiser to support the local senior center. DITV reporter Samantha Ostwick was there with more.
With the recent cuts in funding, the Iowa City Senior Center now has to depend on fundraising to get the proper funds. On Saturday, university students helped to put on a fundraiser called Coffee and Canvases.
So this is for the event planning certificate, and this specific class is called Event Planning Workshop, and we pretty much all get split up into separate groups with different organizations and just plan the whole event. And
I did like decor and sponsorship and budget.
Yeah, so we each get like certain positions, and then pretty much we just work together as a team to make it happen.
The students reached out to local businesses, including Brugger's Bagels, Food Rooftop, and the Hamburg Inn, which were all generous enough to donate food and coffee for this event, as well as artist Jo Walker, who put up her Art for Silent auction to benefit the Senior Center. I spoke with Jo Dickinson on what this event means to her.
I think it's a great way to support the Senior Center here in Iowa City, which is I believe, a very important part of Iowa City, and helps recognize Iowa City as a great place to live for young all the way to old. So us older people like to do fun things too.
Attendants were filled with joy to support a place that's the heart of a community. From the Senior Center, I'm Samantha Ostwick for DITV News.
Thanks, Samantha. The Iowa baseball team was able to take advantage of this beautiful weather, too.
That's right. They had a pretty good weekend.
Yeah, let's toss it over to Natalie and Cassian in the sports studio to find out more.
Thanks, guys. Yes, it was really good weather this weekend. Hopefully they can have better weather for the rest of the season.
Agreed, they're doing really well so far, and hopefully that weather can hold out so they can continue with that success.
Yes, and the Iowa baseball team hosted one of the hottest teams in the country when Michigan came into town hot off a 20-game win streak.
On Friday night, Iowa ended the Wolverines' 20-game win streak with a 4-2 victory, but fell on Saturday 10-2, making Sunday the series-clinching game.
The Wolverines jumped out of an early 5-run lead in this one, but Iowa battled back to head into the bottom of the ninth, tied at 5, and with 2 outs, Ben Norman capitalized off a Wolverines error to get on base and in scoring position.
Next up to bat was Tyler Cropley, who hit this fly ball that the Michigan catcher dropped, sending Ben Norman home for the walk-off win.
Except the catcher never touched the ball, which made it a foul and negated the play.
So Cropley went back up to the plate where he delivered this 2-run walk-off homer to give Iowa that 7-5 win in dramatic fashion. And here's what Cropley had to say following the game.
Coach called me over, put his hand on me, said, take a deep breath. We work on it all the time, just getting your heart rate back down, something we work on. And got it back down and then put a few good swings on the next 2 pitches.
We had a terrible game yesterday and then came out and gave up 5 runs in the first 2 innings. So, you know, we could have got down, but we didn't. And once I saw, you know, the one run inning, then 2, you know, I could kind of see the fight coming back, and we've seen it many times with this team before. So, you know, I knew it would happen at some point.
That was exciting. I mean, that was a lot of fun, and you know, after yesterday, I'm really really happy that the fans came back out, filled the stands again for 11 a.m. game, and really appreciate all the support that they gave us this weekend and sent a lot of them home pretty happy today.
The Hawks will be back in Duane Banks tomorrow afternoon to face Missouri for a midweek matchup.
And it was also an exciting weekend at the Drake Relays for the Iowa's track and field squad. And it wasn't just the perfect weather that made it memorable for the Hawkeyes.
The women's track team had a hard time finding their footing at America's Athletic Classic, placing 11th overall at the meet.
And what looked like an easy win for the men's team in the Hy-Vee Cup turned suspenseful after Antonia Woodred jumped the gun in the 4x100, making the last race a must-win for the Hawks.
But as always, Mariah Harris delivered on the anchor leg as the Hawkeyes 4x4 squad clinched the Hy-Vee Cup, along with teammates DeJuan Fry, Colin Hoffaker, and Chris Thompson. Harris's group made back-to-back Hy-Vee Cup championships and propelled the Hawkeyes into the Big Ten championships.
Well, I've never been to Drake Relays, so it was pretty awesome. My first time here and able to get a white flag. I've heard a lot about it, but to actually be here is crazy, and I'm really happy to be here.
Being an Iowa guy myself and growing up here and competing at the Drake Relays, and there's a lot of nostalgia here being here, and you go everywhere you turn, people are saying hi and saying congrats, and you guys are doing great things, and so it's great to get that recognition. And we're doing it with Iowa kids too. We got a lot of Iowa athletes on our team that went to high school here, and I think that makes it even more special to be able to come back to the Blue Oval and compete the way that we did.
We need to win this 4x4 because if we don't win, we're going to lose the Hy-Vee Cup, and I don't want to lose the Hy-Vee Cup. So the whole time is get the 10 points to make sure we beat Iowa State. No second, no third. 10 for sure.
Up next for the track and field teams are the Big Ten Outdoor Championships, May 11th through the 13th in Bloomington, Indiana.
And also this past weekend, the Hawkeye Tennis Recreation Center hosted the 2018 Men's Big Tennis Tournament.
The competition started Thursday when 8-seeded Iowa defeated the 9th seed Northwestern 4-2.
And then on Friday, Ohio State ended Iowa's tournament and advanced to the finals. On Saturday, Illinois punched their ticket to the championship with a win 4-1 over Michigan.
In the finals, the Buckeyes defeated the 8th-ranked Fighting Illini 4-0, giving them their consecutive Big Ten championship.
Unbelievable ride, topping it off with a last tournament and regular season title here this year. It's just been unbelievable, but especially today, winning 6 first sets and just dominating a team like Illinois was unbelievably good.
I've been playing well all week. We've been playing unbelievable all year, so when we get the doubles point, it's a lot easier for us. 1, 2, and 3 singles played really well today.
Illinois' tough team, rivalry continues, and Big Ten keeps getting stronger. We've got to get better.
The first and second rounds of the NCAA tournament will take place May 11th to the 13th.
That's it from us today in the sports studio, but be sure to tune back in tomorrow for more from the Drake Relays.
And to hear about the Hawkeyes that heard their name called at the NFL Draft.
Well, it looks like the choice between cell plans is about to be narrowed down.
Sunday, T-Mobile and Sprint announced that they will be merging.
This means that combined, they will have 100 million subscribers and will be able to challenge market leaders Verizon and T-Mobile.
If you didn't know, Becca, that makes 1/3 of the entire population of the United States being under T-Mobile and Sprint. So, big deal. That's a wrap on this Monday morning edition of DITV News.
Be sure to head over to dailyiowan.com for all your latest news between Monday and Friday.
And if that isn't enough of the Daily Iowan for you, be sure to check out our print edition of the news on Stands Now.
And if you or your friends missed the show, don't worry. You can see the full broadcast and individual stories on our YouTube page. For DITV News, I'm Becca Scadden.
And I'm Bo Bowman. Have a good day, Iowa City, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Same time, same place.